Self-esteem is the view on yourself. What you think about yourself. Some people think higher of themselves. Some people think lower than themselves. Some people think they're better. Some people think they're worse. But sometimes, YouTubers will get a large YouTube following, and then their self-esteem may rise, and it may turn into just a big ego. And when you have a big ego, that can turn into a fragile ego. And with a fragile ego, when you get one bit of criticism, all you do is shatter. Which brings us to today's video, Wuley. Now, some of you may know Wuley, some of you might not. And before you comment a hate comment, maybe you should watch the video rather than making fun of me in the comments like you guys did to a certain someone who we'll go into in a little bit. Now, I've been thinking about this Wuley thing for a long time because recently some controversy around Wuley has came up. I wasn't related into it as of then, but you know, maybe now I am. Now, recently, there's been some controversy between Wuley and a couple other YouTubers, very tiny YouTubers. In fact, Wuley has almost 15,000 subscribers by now. He even has about time recording this. He got into some drama or controversy, whatever you want to call it, with a couple YouTubers who are much, much, much smaller than his channel. Now, before I cover that, let's go way before then, when he talked about some stuff. He made a video called "The Most Pathetic Gorilla Tag Finger Painter." Now, as of the time, there was some stuff going on with Fadu and stuff, and how he was losing it and getting it. But it started off, the thumbnail, with just calling Fadu a loser. Now, obviously, even if you're making a video about someone, you don't make fun of them. Now, the second video after was this finger painter's fan base is brainwashed. He controls people. Okay, I don't know about he controls people, alright, I will admit. His community is not the greatest, Fadu's. Then there's another one called Uses Fans. This one's inaccurate. And then, you know, let's hit him with the finale, Fadu needs help. Because I don't like Fadu, so I think he needs help, is essentially what the video is. Now, this was before some of the recent stuff has happened with Boom and Fadu, which I didn't cover because I didn't need to. That was a while ago, and we actually did notice how 4 videos in a row, essentially just not liking Fadu. Now, around this time, he released a video, like a little bit after, called The Gorilla Tag YouTuber Tier List. Now, the Gorilla Tag YouTuber Tier List considered normal YouTubers, and then unexpectedly, there was someone named Ethernal, a good friend of mine, who is there, and you can go watch the video there if you want to explain. He played a montage with that, showing everything that Ethernal did about 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, that he chose to bring up about 4 weeks ago. Now, the stuff Ethernal did then was terrible, okay? It was really awful, but since then, Ethernal has changed. He's gone to therapy for it. He's done a lot of stuff like that, okay? He's changed since then, but you have to realize, that was about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and Wuley chose to make a thing about it just now because Ethernal started getting in contact with bigger Gorilla Tag YouTubers. For context, he makes thumbnails and stuff like that. He knows a lot of big YouTubers. So the first thing, showing that, you know, he tried to expose Ethernal because he was bored. Which, if you're gonna make videos like these, you don't do it because you're bored. I don't do this because I'm bored. I do this because I think this community is terrible. And, you know, he also stated he doesn't care about his channel, but then also proceeds to flex his views on a lot of people and say a lot of other things, saying like, oh, you know, also with him making fun of people to make him happy, and him making fun of how many subscribers people have. But why does that matter if you don't care about your channel? Now, there was a moment where someone asked, he lives in Michigan, he is talking about Ethernal, and Wuley corrected him, saying, asterisk, Tennessee. Correcting them, telling them which state they're in. You're gonna say it's not doxing. But he still had, like, the intention, like, he did not have to tell them specifically which state he lived in. He didn't have to correct them, okay? He could have just, like, ignored the comment or something and just went on with his day. But he corrected it, knowing that it was Ethernal state. And also, here's another clip that actually happened in the Finger Palette server.
Yeah, he's
what's
there,
good,
but he's not
Ethernal? Why don't you bro, he doesn't want to speak to me no more. I'm going, hey, yo, Ethernal, I'm coming down to Tennessee tomorrow. Like, not even a joke. No, bro.
I wanna live there, I swear, like Huber.
Bro, Ethernal's like my best friend, bro. He's my best friend. He's done nothing bad ever. He's done nothing bad ever.
And there was a situation where there was someone putting Ethernal's address in his comments, as far as I know. And, you know, the person's name was Wuley, I think. And Wuley said, you have zero proof I sent anything. And the address that was leaked wasn't even right. If I wanted to leak your address, I would leak it correctly, but I haven't. Do you have any proof? Saying he would leak his address correctly if he wanted to. Now, this all led up to something that happened recently with someone I know who was actually in my server. And at the time of this happening, he had about, let's say, 50 subs. He made a video where he talked about Wuley. Now, in this video, it starts off with him talking about Wuley and saying he's a lamb or some shit. Now, if you're gonna make a video like this, you don't make fun of them. You don't make fun of how they sound. You don't make fun of what they sound like. You don't make fun of what they are, which they both did back and forth, okay? But it's just kind of excessive, and it's really unnecessary to be just like rude for zero reason. Now we talked about clickbait and other things that you will see here. Now a lot of YouTubers clickbait. I'm not really too against that. I'm only against it when it's outright lying, which some of it is. But now we did have a point about the making 4 videos about the Fadu situation and just being mean to him for zero reason, and about saying the N-word a lot in a derogatory way. Now, believe it or not, Wuley actually made a response video. At the time, Wuley had 11,500 subscribers. He responded to someone with 230 times less subscribers than him because of just a little bit. And, you know, if your ego is so high, that's what's gonna happen. Whenever you get a tiny bit of, you know, criticism, or someone makes a video about you and they have 50 subscribers, you make a video on it. In the response video, Wuley talked about everything, you know, did the casual making fun of each other, because that's apparently what they do nowadays. Now, Epic did something that Wuley forgot to do in his video. Tell him not to hate on the other person. And you can see why. Now, I'll bring this into account in a second, but, you know, Epic made another response video talking about Wuley's response video, and, of course, Wuley needed to make a second video, you know, after he decided to make a second video about this, you know, responding once again to the guy with a very, very small amount of subscribers compared to his channel. Now, when you're responding to someone making a video on you, or like when you're making a video on someone, you're gonna tell them not to write hate or like send hate to them, which is what I'm telling you to do right now. Don't send hate to Wuley. Wuley's videos got a substantial amount of views, and when you don't tell your fans not to hate on the person, they get 1,000 hate comments on their video. Like, almost all of these are just pure making fun of Epic because he sounds like a kid, apparently. Which, I want you to guess. How old do you think I am? How old do you think I am? If you're saying 16, 17, I'm 14. I'm 14 years old. So, just because their voice sounds like something doesn't mean they're not older, okay? She sounds a little, okay? I don't think he's 10 years old, okay? I think he's older than 10 years old. But everyone's just making fun of his voice, making fun of how he sounds, and just siding with Wuley just because they think Wuley's like, when he's really not in the right. He made a third video, a little recently. He made a third video saying respond to the allegations. And a lot of the stuff he responded to, I will actually get into, because I have a lot of things he said in the middle of all these conversations and all these videos. Whenever you tell someone not to hate on the person, a lot of your fans stop, because it shows you don't want hate being sent to that person, so then you aren't accountable for all your fans going in there and making fun of them. And here's a little screenshot from Epic's POV showing it's all just hate. It's all just hate. It's all hate. So there's actually a thing where there was a lady, there's a gif of a lady laying on a bed, and the Rock's head pops out of her, you know, ass. Now, he's saying it's a gif. It's a gif. It's the Rock's head. But what about the other cheek? Okay, well, we're going to talk about the other cheek that's not censored, that's real. He sends a gif saying depression is not a joke and it's a person hanging by their ass. And obviously, depression is not a joke, but Wuley clearly thinks it is, and I don't really think that's funny. Also, after Wuley's second video, he just DM'd Eric the N-word, hard R, multiple times, you know, just because. And Eric, in one of his videos, actually makes the comment, watch the whole video before commenting. And Wuley says,
before this starts, I just want to say something. Watch the video before commenting.
Yeah, chat. Watch the video before commenting. Or you can just comment whatever you want, because he has no control over you. He's 7 years old.
Don't comment until you've watched the video, which he's right. And of course, Wuley points it out saying, no, or you can just comment whatever you want. The reason he said this is because they're going to assume that Epic's just in the wrong and they're going to instantly go write a hate comment instead of understanding what Epic's trying to say, which is why you're watching this video. Now, during the Tropic GT situation, Wuley, whenever he was in a group chat, yeah, you know, of course, he just said the N-word multiple times. Here's the censored version. Even if you can say it, you're saying it in a lot of derogatory manners, and it's still a slur. And he also makes this comment in his rules of his server, no slurs or anything like that, no derogatory language, when he says the N-word quite a bit. Now, a little bit after, I made a community post talking about how Wuley needs to maybe mature a little, stop making videos responding to people with, you know, hundreds of times less subscribers than him. And I showed some of the stuff Wuley did to show that he's not the perfect person that everyone thinks he is. And then in my server, he actually sent this GIF, which I might have to censor out a little. In my community post, I didn't censor it, so go look at that. But he sent this, and then I DM'd him, bro, you can't be sending that shit. And he said, sorry. And then he said, bro's just mad I'm pulling more views now. Which he says a lot. He says that phrase a lot. For someone who doesn't care about that channel, they say that phrase a lot. And then I said 30,000 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers, which is 15k now, translates a little better than 10k to 100. He hits me with, that's like saying if a pedo dates a 15-year-old, it's better than a 13-year-old. I got a little mad here and called his ego glass, as it is. And he said, number 1, my ego's an act. 2, you didn't deny my claims. His claims were, you know, the stupid stuff that I've been talking about. Extremely, extremely high ego. Imagine we start making beefing videos on each other and I win like I am right now. So he thinks he's winning right now. He thinks he's fine. And, you know, they were talking, just because you're black doesn't mean you can casually say slurs to people, N-word, or just say it publicly in general, oh cool. And then, you know, he tries to justify it. And he says, how old are you? 12, nobody cares, bro. And then he hits them again with bro is just mad, I pull views. Once again, for a channel he doesn't care about, he pulls views. And here's some things from this stream.
Wuley's ego was so high, he has made fun of little kids to make him happy. Actually, I'll agree with that, but I'm not egotistical.
One of them saying that someone in chat said, your ego is so high that you make fun of kids to make you happy. And yes, he agreed with it and then said his ego isn't that high, going back at all these things saying, I'm the villain, I'm still winning.
Really wanted to make a video on Savage Boy, but then me and him are chill now, so I mean.
Who the heck is Savage Boy?
He called me, he was the first person that called me a pedo and stuff.
Wuley said, I was the first person to call him a pedo. I never called Wuley a pedo, ever, okay? I've never called Wuley a pedo. I don't know where he pulled that out of. Probably his ass, but can we see some proof, Wuley, a little bit? Or are you just gonna make false accusations of me? And he also claimed the beef was over, stop dragging it, and then, you know, made a whole nother video about it, because, you know, you just needed an extra third video to make about these channels with, you know, 200, 100 subscribers. And he actually told me to take down the community post I made about him, because people are calling him a pedo. And, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure Wuley is 15, so he's not going to be a pedophile. But also, he apologized to Ethernal, saying he shouldn't leak it. And Ethernal has expressed multiple times that he wants Wuley to take down the video, and Wuley actually hasn't taken down the video. So why should I take down my community post? I know I said I wasn't making a video about this, and I lied. Because I knew if I told you I was making a video about this, you would, like, speed run a video, just, like, accusing me of everything, making me look like a bad person. And then, you know, everyone would watch that instead of watching mine, and, you know, I would be the bad person. For every YouTuber who didn't want to, for every YouTuber that, you know, he's done bad things to, for all the people who saw what happened with him and Epic and aimlessly just hated on Epic for what he sounds like or what his PNG looks like, come on, man. So my last request before I leave is don't spread hate to him, okay? Don't do what he did with Epic and get 1,000 comments racked up on his channel on one video, just all hating on him. And you can make videos about this, I don't care. You can do whatever you want, okay? Just don't spread hate.